Hello students, in this audio presentation I will continue with my textual discussion related with the chapter The Ailing Planet. I will start with page number 46 because I already had discussed up to page number 45. Now let's come to the very first paragraph of page number 46. A 3-year study using satellites and aerial photography. Now aerial photography means photography taken from the top. Aerial photography conducted by the UN or United Nations warns that the environment has deteriorated so badly that it is quote unquote critical in many of the 88 countries investigated. So, using satellites and aerial photography, an extensive survey was done by the United Nations and under the radar 88 countries were there, and our country was also one of those 88 countries. And finally, after the thorough survey and investigation was done by the UN, they came to the conclusion that the environment has deteriorated so badly that it is critical in many of the countries, 88 countries. It is not good. The environment has deteriorated to a great extent. Dear students, I am moving on to the next paragraph. There can be no doubt that the growth of world population is one of the strongest factors distorting the future of human society. Population and poverty both are interrelated. And in this particular chapter, The Ailing Planet, we will find information regarding both. So, for world population, obviously the growth of world population is one of the most important and one of the most strongest factors that actually harms the future of human society. It took mankind more than a million years to reach the first billion. So, it took mankind more than a million years to reach the first billion in terms of population. That was the world population around the year 1800. By the year 1900, a second billion was added, and the 20th century has added another 3.7 billion. Now, you can easily if you read these lines, it will be very easy to you to understand in which level the population is increasing. It was a million years ago, it was only 1 billion. But by the year 1900, a second billion was added. And by the 20th century, it had added another 3.7 billion. The present world population is estimated to be 5.7 billion. I already told you previously that the figures, the data might change, it might alter because it is written way back in the year 1994. But we have to memorize the statistical information or the figures or the data given in the text. So it is written here, the present world population is estimated to be 5.7 billion. Every 4 days, the world population increases by 1 million. Now it is quite surprising, and at the same time it is shocking and alarming also that every 4 days the world population increases by 1 million. Fertility falls as incomes rise, education spreads, and health improves. Now, if population is not checked, then obviously there will be no development in terms of education, in terms of economical perspective. So population had to be checked at the earliest. Thus, development is the best contraceptive. This is a very important line, my dear students. Even a short question from this line you might get in the exam. Development is the best contraceptive. But development itself may not be possible if the present increase in numbers continues. But development, then obviously improvement in health and hygiene, then obviously income rate, it will never increase unless and until we check our population. The rich get richer and the poor beget children. Actually, beget means to breed or to reproduce, which condemns them to remain poor. More children does not mean more workers, merely more people without work. Now, the poor people, they have a conception, the workers, they have a conception that more children will ultimately mean more workers, but actually it will initiate more poverty because it means more mouths to feed. It is not suggested that human beings be treated like cattle and they will be compulsorily sterilized, but there is no alternative to voluntary family planning without introducing an element of coercion. Now, it depends on us, and it is better that we initiate the voluntary family planning. It depends entirely on us, and we should not be compulsorily sterilized like cattle. Human beings should not be involved in that. So ultimately, there is no alternative to voluntary family planning. It depends on partners regarding population growth. It depends on the partners regarding population extension also. How to check the population, it depends on us, because population and poverty is interrelated. The choice is really between control of population and perpetuation of poverty. Now the choice remains with us. If we go on increasing our population, then obviously poverty will also increase. Now if population is checked, there will be less poverty, income of the middle class people and the lower middle class people will increase, education will spread, health and hygiene of the people will improve. So development ultimately is the best contraceptive, but for that population check is a must. I am stopping here in this audio presentation, dear students. Please listen to it, and if there is any doubt, kindly ask me. Thank you, students.